Greetings, my little lovelies. I hope I find you all well again, and as usual, feeling tickety-boo. Now, 4 marvellous, wonderful, fantastic new videos for you today. The first one examines a case of the stigmata that has recently occurred, round about Easter time, if my memory's right. We've got one about a 3-eyed cow. Yes, you heard me, 3 eyes. We've got a near-death experience, which is very interesting. And the final one is a picture of the sky. Wonder what you make of that one. It's quite an interesting one. Right, stop waffling, Julian, and let's crack on, shall we? A Samoan woman's claims that she has the stigmata has gripped the Pacific Island nation in recent weeks. She says bleeding wounds appeared on her body while she was at church on Good Friday. Her story, widely covered in the largely Christian country, has triggered a national debate and even comment from their Prime Minister. She said the wounds appeared on her palms, feet, forehead and her side while she was performing as Jesus Christ in a church play reenacting the crucifixion last month. However, her story has been greeted with both skepticism and joy in Samoa. Some, including the country's Catholic Prime Minister, have called it a miracle. He said we should be happy about these events. If it happens to someone, it means they are holy. What do we think of that, my little lovelies? Stigmata? Let us know. A farm vet has shared photos of one of the strangest ever discoveries, a calf with 3 eyes. Maylan Hughes said she was testing cattle for TB at a farm in North Wales when she spotted the bizarre-looking animal. The calf is around 4 months old and in good health, but it is unclear if it can see out of its extra eye. From the outside, the eye looks fine. It has eyelids and eyelashes, but it's impossible to know if anything is going on behind the eye. 7 years ago, a calf with 3 eyes was born in India and was worshipped as a god. Villagers in Tamil Nadu flocked to visit the animal, who was named after Lord Shiva, the Hindu god who is depicted with a 3rd eye, representing wisdom and insight. This calf, however, is unlikely to receive the same kind of attention. It should lead a normal life. However, the animal is destined for the food chain. The following has been sent in by C.L. Palmer from California. He says, after a major heart attack, my grandfather was taken to the Oak Knoll Navy Hospital in Oakland, California, back in the late 1980s. There, his heart stopped and he was dead for a number of minutes. He later described what he experienced during that time to my mother and grandmother, who later related it to me. He told them he felt himself rise out of his body and saw the ceiling approaching. He didn't know how to control his spirit body, which was apparently parallel to the floor, with his nose adjacent to the ceiling. He could see the holes in the ceiling tiles close up and in great detail. He could also hear the doctors working on his body below. He was frustrated because he couldn't turn round and watch them. Instead, he just listened closely to what they were saying. After a while, he could feel himself being drawn back into his body, after which he lost consciousness. When he awoke, he asked the doctor that revived him and described what had happened, and the doctor said, yes, it's exactly as you have said. Now, after my grandfather passed away, my grandmother came to live with my mother at our home. She was suffering from bone cancer and became weaker and weaker. One day, while my mother was feeding her in bed, she started to struggle to get up and was desperately reaching for the ceiling at the opposite corner of the room. She cried out that my grandfather was there, that he was just across the room and that she wanted to go with him. Then she settled down and fell asleep. My mother left the room and put the dishes away. And when she came back, my grandmother had passed away. He goes on to say, I really hope someone is there waiting for me when it's my time. Who knows? Maybe I'll see my grandfather there too, just like Grandma. What do you think of that, my little lovelies? Anybody had any experiences like that? let us know. This photograph was taken by Laura Rowe in West Texas just this week. What you are actually seeing is the light from the sunset hitting the clouds and making the sky look like it's exploding. There is something else going on in this photo. There is actually a small tornado right in the middle of it. What a cracking picture. Welcome back, my little lovelies. Just enjoying a cup of coffee in a cup that my wife bought for me, the marvellous Reverend Shirley Murphy. Can you see what it says? I'll bring it closer. Mr. Grumpy. That should tell you all you need to know. Right, what am I talking about? Right, hope you enjoyed them. As usual, let us know your thoughts. Keep everything nice and clean and tickety-boo! Now, any stories, send them in. Anything you want to tell us, let us know. Always great to hear from you. Right, enough waffling from me. I'm going to finish my coffee in my lovely Mr. Grumpy cup. And until next time, take care and stay safe, my little lovelies. Ta-ta, my little lovelies. Ta-ta!